Do this to supersize you. Welcome to day 122 of our annual challenge. Recording is again today because Facebook Live has disappeared from my Facebook phone app. No idea. Did a few days ago when I recorded on my camera, which is what I'll do today. You don't get any fancy headings and it's a little bit more challenging to say, but I just show up and get it out there. There's always a solution. Today when it didn't work, I just scrolled around a little bit, way too much, because that's what happens on social media. And had to figure out an alternative. I will probably start recording on my school platform app and in my school community, because that will be the foundational place for me to save and transfer and share videos then going forward. I'll let you know tomorrow, because last time this happened a couple of days ago, by the time I was done processing, or actually I had already started processing the videos for the day, it had already reappeared on Facebook. So that's just one of the challenges of not doing things on something that you own. We are subject to the rules and regulations and guidelines and whims of those platform owners. And that's just part of the online game. All right, so what are we talking about today? Eliminate this in order to get rid of mental clutter. Our brains are not designed for storage. Our at least our conscious mind, our conscious part of our mind, it's designed for thinking and problem solving and determining if something's going to kill us or not. And so many of us have so many things going on all the time that our brains just get overloaded, and instead of being more effective and efficient, we end up being less effective and efficient. And we're going to talk about how we go about dealing with that. That's the one thing I'm going to share in a minute. Wait a minute. So when we do a brain dump, I guess I'm going to share it right now. It allows us to clear up mental capacity in order to be able to think, right? Because we need our consciousness to think about and problem solve the things that face us all day long, every day in our world, like when we can't record on Facebook Live. So we want to regularly do this, and I will show you. I actually did it this morning because I've got a list of things I've needed to pick up, and it's a growing list, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to have to either have this in the back of my memory, which is taking up space I don't want to do, or I can actually just brain dump it on a little piece of paper and get the list out of my head and onto paper, so I don't have to think about it anymore, and I can just go ahead and get those items today. So it increases our focus by getting things out of our head and onto paper or into the computer or on our phone, whatever works for you. It allows us to increase our focus, reduce our stress. I don't know about you. When I have too many things on my mind, I get stressed out. When I get stressed out, I'm not very fun to be around or efficient or effective. And then it allows us to make decisions and choices based on our priorities, the things that are most important to us, the things that are most important to you. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a brain dump. Sometime today, I recommend you pick a time that works best for you. Sit down with a piece of paper, or me, I'm kind of a binder and notebook gal. Just start writing everything down. Because once we get it out of our head, it frees up so much energy and space and capacity for actually thinking about the things or being present in the situations that we want to be present in. So today, what are you going to do? You're going to do a brain dump. It's if you've never done one, I think you're going to be absolutely amazed at how powerful it is and how much lighter you feel, because you haven't lost anything. You've gained significant clarity and focus. So that's actually our action item today. We're just going to write down tasks, worries, doubts, fears. I like to have a different page for each of these things. Gratitude, things we're grateful for that we want to acknowledge, but we just haven't had a chance to. I usually have a page for each of those, and then that's how I separate my list as I'm dumping it out of my brain and making it. Plus the headings trigger my memory and tell me things that I might have already forgotten to write down. How much mental energy? Ask yourself a couple of questions today. How much mental energy am I tying up because I'm thinking about far too many things? Me, it's probably at least 1,000 things on a daily basis. I don't write them all down. I was that person in corporate America that always had a 400 item to-do list. Why? Because that was my way of dumping that out and putting it in a container where I could save it, but it didn't have to be in my head. Now, I do the same thing with my subconscious, is I will plant that list in my subconscious. That's part of the power of writing it down, is our subconscious remembers everything. Thing we need to remember how to do is how to retrieve the things we put in our subconscious memory. Ask yourself, what would my mental clarity be like if I had more thinking space because I freed it up by doing this brain dump? I know people that do a brain dump every single morning. As soon as they wake up, they grab their notebook and they start writing down all the things that popped into their head. And then later in the morning, this is how I do it. Later in the morning, then I'll look at that list and I'll say, okay, what needs to be done or looked at today? And only those few things from that brain dump go on my list on any given day. And sometimes I'll schedule them ahead for a future date, a future month, a future time, because then I know I've already begun the process of dealing with that thing without having to have it take up my short-term memory and my short-term thinking power. Excuse me. So what are we going to do today? Share in the comments below that you did your brain dump and one aha or how it made you feel. I like how it made you feel for this community, because I don't think we actually open up and talk about how we feel about things very often. At least I don't, not in my world. And I think it's really important to, even if we don't share it with someone else, acknowledge it to ourselves, the impact that some of these tools and strategies have on us. Because guess what? If they don't help at all, or if they make us feel worse, we probably will stop doing them, or we will never do it again. But some things, some new tools, some new ideas just need a little practice so that we can be comfortable with them and understand how powerfully they can help us to create what it is that we want. Another thing I like about doing the brain dump now is we can brain dump this list into an AI and have it save the list for us, sort the list, organize the list, prioritize the list based on our core values. You know, I'm taking AI training. It's absolutely amazing. Again, I will say I will use AI to enhance and help me with my shortcomings, which are mainly my vision and, well, my short-sightedness and my vision. But it will never replace me as a human being. You'll see me maybe to your horror or on or whatever sometimes, but I'm going to keep showing up just as plain old regular me. If I can help you anyway, hit me up and ask today. Otherwise, go out, make it an awesome day. Dump the stuff out of your brain so that you can free up capacity and see how much more productive and how much more powerful, personally powerful, you feel by doing this exercise. Have an awesome day. Of course, I'll be with you tomorrow.